Well, it's a week again, it's a time again. Um Rainbow Flickers of the Crimson Screen, episode 5 of From season 2. That episode was called Lullaby, and Sarah must face some music as Whatever returns spread through town. Victor and Jade strike an unlikely bargain. So that episode was again a continuation of last week's episode that made less action heavy and much more character based.
Yeah, more character based, but also I guess it was a birthday present to me since we're recording this on my birthday,
It
right?
was,
Yeah.
yes, it was. Calm down. Calm down. I don't say that the creator of the show done it on purpose, but it was anyway.
I'm just saying.
Um, so yes, it was pretty much what I would say. It was a repercussion of season one's the situation with Sarah that was pretty much resolved in this episode, which was repercussion of her killing a brother, killing the father of I can't remember his name. What was his name?
Kenny?
Kenny, there we go, Kenny. I'm terrible with his name. And yeah, and the kids as well.
Oh yeah, those Diane Wood apparently added more people to the group, so
Hmm.
good for them.
Indeed.
uh yeah, like we were talking about when we were watching this episode, I do feel like yes, you said it was more the theme was control, but I also feel like there was a theme of redemption here as well.
There was, yes.
And Sarah was trying to be redeemed, Boyd was trying to be redeemed, everyone was just trying to be redeemed.
Hmm. The reason when I talk about control is because we also have the fact that, okay, Sarah was control. There's not denying it. She was control. She wanted to escape. We can see the repercussion of being in that place for a very long time. People are just getting really losing hope in some ways. And
Yeah, or she said they're losing faith, the one thing they
they need.
hold so dear.
So we actually found this situation when she was told if you kill that kid, you'll be able to get out. And she took that. She took that advice. Mm. And we also discovered that maybe the reason why she's done it is because our lesbian nurse actually might have something to do with it, but actually telling her to do it in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it's the nurse? I mean, she said that she asked her, "Hey, if you could bring your fiance here and you had to do something horrible, would you do it?" And she's just like, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's more so to do with, is that what's bringing people there? The fact that they want something so bad, they're willing to do whatever for it?
Yes, true. But there is all this thing about actually who's controlling us, what's controlling us in some way, because if we look
The
at Boyd
government.
with the government, yes, yes, we're gonna go back to this one a bit later. But if you think about it, Boyd is controlled by what? By actually wanting to know the truth, or is it to actually is controlled by the fact he failed with his wife and see Sarah as a way to redeem himself for actually the death of his wife?
Hmm.
So he's controlled by that guilt that he experienced the fact he had to kill his wife because his wife was well killing other people. It's the same, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, much like you, I also felt kind of bad for Sarah in this episode because,
Really, yes.
bless her heart, like she was having to deal with the fallout of everything that had happened, and what a welcoming committee. Okay, like chill, girl. It's just a flannel jacket.
It was, but it's true that I really felt so sad, so sorry because people seem yeah okay. She tried to kill the kid, but she also killed her brother, and her brother was everything for her. Everything to her. You can see when she talk with Elgin about life and actually the time with her brother, she did basically say this. You see that the brother was very important for her, and she killed him. So in some way, I really
Yeah.
felt so sad for her because nobody seems to understand the way she feels. They're seeing her as a monster.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. When she went back into the house that she used to live in and she was met with those people, I was like, y'all need to calm down.
Who are they? And the thing is, who are they?
Like-
Because we never seen them before as well. So that even make it worse. These people we never seen before that actually talking to her that way was pretty bad. Mm, this is the alpha.
yeah, you know what really sticks with me though is the fact that every time one of them is asked, "Hey, how long have you been here?" They all say like just a few months.
Mhm.
Like, I wonder who is the longest person that's been
But we
there.
know.
Who?
Come on, Victor.
Who? Oh yeah, that's right, Victor.
It's
Well,
very obvious. Victor was a kid.
who never who never gives any answers. Yeah, oh Victor.
Yeah, no, the same thing all over again. It just reminded me of the birds in Twin Peaks. Don't know if you remember that episode. The only witness of the murder was that bird. That bird was never given the
Yeah,
answers.
speaking of birds, the owl was very prevalent in this episode.
Mhm,
I love symbolism and stuff like this, and owls usually represent that you are headed in the right direction.
mhm.
So, could that be a sign? Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, and there was a lot of also about face. We could see a lot of something about face as well. Was pretty important.
Mm.
It seems to be in a lot of episodes in that show. This idea of faith in some ways.
Also, can we talk about Kenny's basically really not being the character we're used to seeing?
Yeah, it was very weird to him like this. He was not like him. He actually looked grown up.
Yeah.
He looked grown up for once. He doesn't look 14.
I think it's because he wasn't in like the huge over, sheriff
That's true.
shirt.
That's true.
But yeah, Kenny was really upset. The way he just took all her stuff and threw it, and I was like, okay, Sarah girl, don't go for the most important thing on the ground right now because you know it's what he's going to destroy.
Hmm.
So
No, of course. So is Sarah really added bad with the entire episode, I must say. But maybe we just saw the beginning of a little friendship or little relationship between Elgin and Sarah because the only person who tried to help her was who? Elgin, who came actually to help her just put the stuff back in the box. So we'll never know. She's not going to be in the box, but she has a box anyway.
oh, that's true. I'm sorry. The whole scene in the church is really what was one of the highlights for me, especially when Sarah was just like, "Oh yes, I unalived my brother." Like, how do you just sit next to someone and they just say, "Oh, my brother"? Like, what do you say to that?
No, exactly. But it was a very nice because if we think about it, it was the first time in the episode when Jack could actually be herself without actually being the murderer, the bad person, the monster. Because Elgin didn't know what she did, so she was able to just be normal and actually talk about things with him, which was really cute in some way. It was a very nice scene. I really love that scene as well.
Yeah. Oh, another love interest at the end of the
We
world.
need to have some. Come on. Okay.
Well, speaking of love interest, let's
Oh.
talk about the nurse's fiance. Well, the doctor's fiance, the nurse. So
Okay, we need to have a drug addict. We got a drug addict in the show. Yes. Uh, I think if you remember, they're the producer of Lost. We had a drug addict in Lost, and it was difficult to find the drugs, and now we got another one now. So,
I really don't understand how you come to somewhere where there is literally no medicine coming in at all. Like, it's not like you're getting a standard shipment. You're only getting things when something crashes, and you're stealing. Like someone's not going to notice that. Like,
I know that was pretty weird. And the fact she's a nurse as well, there's this question of trust that actually going to be broken, and that's going to be interesting to see the repercussion of this because. We know why that old lady is such in a good mood because she knows she's gonna die. She's going to have actually a nice time until she's actually dead. We know that. I think it's
yeah.
cancer,
So
I guess.
yeah. So she's just like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So we actually know now why. She's not crazy. She just knows she's gonna die. She just wants to enjoy herself, which is fair enough for
So
her.
So it seems like all these characters always seem to be some sort of metaphor for something. What do
Mm.
you think she's a metaphor for?
Hmm. Good question. Hmm.
Maybe you guys can help us out in the comment section with that one.
She seems always there actually at the right time to actually ask the right question or actually to give the right information. Don't know if you realize that every time she was there.
And that's true too.
So, but she's not important while being important at the same time. It's pretty weird. Like, as you know, the family that came on the beginning of the season one, I just found the dad insufferable. Pretty useless character for me. And actually, she just come in
Ye-
and she's actually have more important than him. So yeah.
Yeah, I do think it's funny though what Boyd said in the beginning of the episode when he was when Jim and they were trying to talk about why Sarah should be there, and he's just like, "Do you not see what's happening?
Mm.
A house literally just fell for no reason. So
By no reason, let's be
we
honest.
need some answers. We need some answers."
I just hope they don't go towards the because I'm just have a feeling sometimes I'm just thinking, oh, it's like in The Walking Dead when actually the characters are the reason why everything tend to crap, basically. Because they're the reason why the house collapsed, let's be honest. Mm. You don't you don't make a hole in your basement without actually a proper precaution, but that's another story indeed. And yeah, it was not a good thing. I don't like this character. It's not I don't like the character, I just find them a bit bland. The mother right now having much more interesting with the zombie kids or the ghoulish kids that just being appearing.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was saying, and you were saying that it was a new threat, but is it a really new threat if it's only her that's seeing them?
I don't know, but she was terrifying to me. I really found that scene terrifying. There's this move.
I mean,
Mhm.
to me, it sort of seemed like they wanted her to be their mother.
Mhm.
That is what it seemed like to me.
Uh, do you think so? Because
Yeah, and we're also talking about someone who said that they had already seen their dead, child, and they keep talking about wanting to be, you know, a mother
mhm.
and how she never got over the death of her child, rightfully so.
Ouais.
And now we have all these ghost kids, coming, and they seem to only be coming to her. So there's got to be some sort of connection.
Yeah. Well, I just found them terrifying when they actually when they arrived toward her and started to touch her. I really found that terrifying because there's this movie. I can't remember the name of the movie. This is annoying me. It's a Belgian movie about this mother who's looking for her kids who disappeared after the tsunami and in Indonesia. And there's one scene actually in that movie which just so much like this one, which was basically all the kid coming towards them and actually just touching them like this. And he just remind me of Cannibal Holocaust and all this actually cannibal movie for some reason. It was,
Okay.
yeah, that's what it reminded me of in some way. With that word, Angkhooey, Angkhooey, something.
Yeah, they just kept saying it. I was just like, maybe they're just speaking another language. I feel like it's just very cryptic because I googled it, and nothing could find nothing about it. So,
I hope it's not
mm.
French because that word sound like a swear word in French. So I hope it's not French because that would be not completely different idea of actually the movie. But that was a terrifying. But I don't know. I feel they are important. And I wonder if they are not actually the threat they were talking about that the old guy who was tied up to the wall were talking about. With the lullaby, with
Could
the
be.
music. Because remember, the lullaby was important as well. And what did we have in that place with Boyd? Was that music box making the sound of a bit of a lullaby?
Yeah. Speaking of, I guess the music is still important because it seemed to have more significance earlier in the season, and now not as much. I don't know.
No, there is, I'm sure.
Okay.
We had the entire ending of the episode had a song playing for the entire length of actually the
Yeah, I
ending.
mean, it had a song. It had a song, but I'm just saying, like within the show, while they're doing things, remember the music used to be of huge significance. Like if you hear the
Mm.
music, everything's okay or whatever. But it seems to be in a little bit downplayed in the last, I guess, two
It could
episodes.
be. It could be. I don't know. I just feel. Really, I feel the last two episodes was mostly setting up things for later. Uh,
And of course, well, I'm also gonna say the guy on the
oh
bus.
gosh.
I feel like they're gonna have a lot of fun with him. There's a reason they're just like, oh, because they don't have anything but time, so they're just gonna wear him down.
What I've seen, the fact that actually they try to come in and actually they knock at the door, knock at the door, knock at the windows, and it's just like all nothing, everything else, and he's getting all mad about it, and he's getting all mad, and they actually leave, and he's getting even madder because they leave, and there's just one thing, one of them turn around and smile, and for me, they know they got him already. They know it because the guy doesn't like the fact people turning away from him. So so we just saw them once in that episode, really. This the others, but they were still as scary
Yeah.
as yes, I call them the others. Uh, they are still as scary than they were before, even without the blood. So it'd be interesting. Still 1950s. Still basically 1950s closing. So that must be important, especially when we have what's his name now? The dad who actually talked to Boyd and talked about the experiment people were doing after World War II. So MK
Jim.
Ultra, Jim,
Yeah.
MK Ultra and everything else was happening during the Cold War, which will fit
Hmm.
with 1950s closing and 1950s themed in the music and in the diner. So who knows? There might be actually something very interesting there. And even the television looked like the 1950s in the in one of the rooms. So
So I guess what are your final thoughts about this episode?
final thought. Well, we forgot the most important thing before the final thought. We actually discovered
What's
we discovered what is that. Well, we discovered a bit more about the symbols. About actually,
did we though? They seem to just
yes.
make more questions to me. I'm just like, okay.
Okay, we actually knew the person who drew the symbol, started to see the symbol change, and one day everyone died. That's pretty important.
Okay, I must have missed. I must have zoned out on that
Really?
one.
It was pretty important. They actually pretty much, Victor pretty much said he used to be the guy that was really nice, everyone was laughing, he was always in a good mood. Then he started to see these symbols. He changed, he stopped making people laugh.
Hmm.
And one day his mom told him to actually hide somewhere when this guy would not know he would be hiding. And the next day everyone was dead. It was only him left. That's pretty
Okay.
scary.
Well, I mean, it's just always questions, more questions after more questions. Sometimes I miss things
Mm.
because it's just like another episode where really, technically, nothing happens. Like, let's be honest.
Well, we know more. For example, now the fact is,
Mm,
it's not Victor, it's Jade who actually started to do this to see the same thing that that guy was saying. Is
mhm.
Jade's gonna go and get mad and start to kill everyone? That's the question I'm asking myself. The fact is, the wife of Boyd was having vision before she started to kill people. Also, so
Yeah.
what's going on there with all this vision? Is people are going crazy, or is it people getting
Boyd's
dementia?
also Boyd's also having
No,
vision.
exactly.
So yeah.
Is there something in the water? We don't know. And the fact we saw,
I don't think there's anything in the water. I mean, that would affect like everybody, right?
but we don't know if, but everyone seems to have vision nowadays. It's the fashion. Everyone been having vision, so. And then the number of cars in the forest as well. That was actually something I found really interesting. Especially how did Victor manage to get all the car in the forest? He was eight.
I mean, like, well, you were saying that. I mean, to be fair, I learned how to drive at 10. So,
True.
but what I was saying is, it wasn't that surprising to me because it's been going on since the 50s. So of course there would be a lot of cars. I mean, yeah, it would just make sense to me.
I don't know. I just felt. I really felt because we don't see really much people in a town. We just
do you
realized
think that do you think that everyone that I guess these are you call them the others? Do you think those are the original residents of the town?
it could be. Or what I was thinking more is the fact is we actually had three occasions, and two occasions we know about when someone got mad and started to kill people in town. Is it the final experiments that we actually seeing? Because it seems to be
Mm,
repeating itself for some reason.
I guess until somebody figures it out. That's why I said, hey, the owl is symbolism of you're headed in the right
Mm,
direction. So
indeed. It was interesting. For me, it was an interesting episode. It was not action packed, but I do love this episode when we start to know more about the characters. Uh, the highlight for me, the funny part for me was really the donut conversation with Bo was really, really fun. And the haircut sequence, oh my God. What a dreadful haircut. She looked so much better without the haircut, but
I think it
at
looks all
least she
right.
got a
She
t-shirt out of it, so it's good.
she's got the facial, she has the bone structure for it.
I
Okay.
guess so, yeah. But I think we're just gonna we're coming like to episode 5. We got 10 episodes, so it's halfway through the season. So I think we're gonna ramp up a bit more on what's gonna happen. Uh,
I hope so.
yeah, I think it's nice to have two episodes a bit calmer, but we need some action. We need some blood.
Yeah, I'm just worried that they're just going to save all the answers for everything else from season 1 towards the end of season 2, and then it's going to be a cliffhanger. We're going to have to wait, a whole another year. So
This is
I
always
just want a little. I want some more answers, just a little.
I think that's always my big issue with this show is the season. It's always easy to have two seasons in a show. The season 3 is always
Mhm,
hard to actually get because a lot of people would actually start to give up on the show at season 2 usually. So let's say we get a season
mhm.
3, or at least we get a proper answer.
And I want to say that I feel like a lot of people wouldn't give up if it just wasn't so long in between seasons now, because it used to not be that long. I mean, a good example, like even in the, I want to say around 2013, 2014, the average TV season was like 21 episodes. And the break would be maybe 4 months at that, before
No,
they're
no, no.
churning out a new season. So now it's just like, you have all these ideas and everything in your head, and then time goes by, and then next year you're just like, I don't even remember. you know
This is why I gave up with Stranger Things, among other things, but also because I think of Stranger Things overstayed their welcome, but even waiting for so long for another episode was just like way too much. But I would say from we watched first season together, and we still remembered it basically when season 2 started, so they done something right, at least. I
yeah.
think they're really working towards something. They seem to know what they are doing, which is pretty good too. Not like Lost.
Yeah, I really just want to know also what is going on with the time references and the years. I really want to know what's going on with that.
No, no. So overall, good episode. But let's hope we get a bit more action next time. Next episode is called, I think, Pas de deux, which is a term for dancing. So, what's wrong? What is it with that? I would say maybe uh, the only time we saw a ballerina was actually with the music box. So, we might have something very important. Apparently, it's about food shortage. I'm just looking at IMDb. So,
Food shortage. I mean, that tends to happen when you have a bus full of people,
hmm
which mm, I just put those two and two together.
Go on.
Just the fact that they're running low on food, then all of a sudden magically a bus appears full of more
That's
people.
true.
It's almost like someone's testing them, you know?
That's true. That's pretty weird, but I say we might have a next episode might be interesting to see the tension ramp up because this show is very good with tension between people. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Okay, I mean, if you guys like the videos and the podcast, well, you know what to do. Just like and subscribe
Say
and
hello.
all that fun stuff. David, is there anything else you want to say?
No, not really. Looking forward for next week to actually see what's gonna happen and well, I was just looking forward to actually also hear your thought about it because there's a lot of symbolism that show that we might have missed. That would be nice to see if people can actually like enlighten us a bit.
Hmm, that's true. Well, I'll see you guys next
Okay,
week. Same time, same
bye
place.
bye.